Now shooting the 7th, a spare up, trailing by 44. Another 10.
Nothing seems to work for Henry today. He's dropped 45 pins behind with 3 frames to go, and the way Ritger's striking, it looks like there's going to be no end in sight. So Henry Gonzalez, to give himself any chance, makes the spare in the 7th and throw strikes 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, and hope Ritger gets an open frame and quits this string.
So our top 5 tournament leaders bowling here head-to-head for the top prize of $15,000.
And you see the other finishers. Rich Karuba right there just missed in a bad last game with a bad break. Bill Spigner, Mickey Heim, and Jay Robinson, AMF Grand Prix champion 1977. Frank Ellenberg, my doubles partner a couple of weeks ago. Louis Moore bowling well. Al Stoneham, you'll hear from him. And Charlie Venable bowling well.
Spare up.
Some of the other finals, Pete McCordy from Houston bowling well. Joe Berardi, a finalist in the Quaker State last week. Good-looking Steve Neff. And James Stanley, who was leading the tournament for a while. Dan Roche's good-looking guy. Dave Husted out here from Milwaukee, Oregon, a town we don't hear of. Roger Tramp. And, of course, Mal Acosta.
10 pen for Ritger, who had a 3-bagger going. Ritger, who won the first game, if you just joined us, 217 to Dave Beckman's 207. He had 6 strikes in that game. He has 6 thus far in his second game.
All that Ritger has to do to win this match is to mark in the 8th, 9th, and 10th, and he will go on to meet Mark Roth. The 71 and 72 player of the year, Don Johnson right up there. Pete Couture, steady every week, and Les Zykes, whose son is a new employee, Lyle Zykes of the PBA, now working in public relations and press. Ritger's job is to stay clean. He's working at a 226 pace. The best Gonzalez can do is 212. And nearly the 810. But here's this 10 pin that gave him a little trouble. And what had happened, Chris, is he apparently stepped in some powder that had been mislaid underneath the settee area where the ball sits. And nobody thought to look under there. And Dick must have been rubbing his foot in a nervous action. And he slipped. And when you lose your footwork, it's definitely difficult to have timing. No problem there, though.
Spare in the 9th frame for Dick Ritger. Gonzalez is back up with a strike up in the 8th frame, shooting in the 9th.
If Henry Gonzalez does not strike in the 9th and 10th, there is no possible way for him to win this match. Trailing by 43.
All right, double.
Henry Gonzalez must keep the string alive. He needs to strike here in the 10th and 11th frame to force Dick Ritger to mark. Show you how close these tournaments go. With 1 game to go last night, Henry was leading the tournament. If he loses this game, he finishes 4th. In 2 games, he dropped 3 places. He's still in it. Now only trailing by 23. 1 more strike will force Ritger to get a good count or a mark in the 10th.
We're in San Antonio, Texas. Charming city. Great Spanish influence. Many military installations, including Fort Sam Houston, Bo, where you served at one time.
Yeah, a lot of military down. Beautiful town down here. San Antonio.
Horseshoe Bend of the San Antonio River. Speaking of Fort Sam Houston, that's where the United States modern pentathlon team trains for national, international, and Olympic competition.
Wow.
Whoa.
He's still in it.
By virtue of 4 in a row.
This shows you the importance of being what we call lined up, zeroed on the right boards. Henry Gonzalez threw the ball well at the beginning of the game, but he was standing on the wrong board. He was standing with his right foot around the 20th board of the middle. He has moved slightly to the right, 19th board, and has made all the difference. He still has a chance if Ritger opens.
So Henry Gonzalez has finished, and he has shot a 209.
With that short count, all Ritger needs to do is get a good count on his first ball. And there's the winner, Dick Ritger.